of their age, they are forced to become dependent on those around them. Isolation and loneliness can be the primary debilitating factors in the dependent person's life. As home helps, we engage daily in the practice of looking after those unable to care for themselves. Home helps provide intimate care and support to enable people to live with dignity at home, including duties such as dressing, feeding, preparing meals, lighting fires to ensure they are safe and warm, showering, shaving, changing catheters and colostomy bags, medication reminders, putting them to bed, getting them up in the morning. We also act as a confident and daily link to the outside world, being a trusted and reliable carer to ensure that each day they have at least one person calling on them. Many of the people receiving these services have no other family to care for them. The HSE's website states that home helps work with vulnerable people in the community who through illness or disability are in need of help with day-to-day tasks such as housework, shopping, personal care, and to assist them to live an independent life and remain in their own homes for as long as possible. But we are on the streets of Cork today because these principles have gone out the window. Clients are having their hours cut. The help we are allowed to provide is being rapidly eroded, and the focus of care provision is shifting from the public to the private sector. If you talk to the home health workers on the rally today, you might hear about a 91-year-old partially blind woman living alone who has been told she will no longer receive a visit on Tuesdays. Or a 90-year-old suffering from Alzheimer's disease who is unable to walk and needs the highest level of personal care, who the HSE have also decided to cut. Or a 15-year-old girl who suffers from cerebral palsy and requires the highest level of personal care, whose hours have just been cut by half. These are typical examples of what is happening now right across our country to some of the most vulnerable people in our society. They could be your mother, your father, your sister. Indeed, one day they could be you. So we stand here today as advocates for the vulnerable people we give care to, those who are unable to stand here for themselves. From our individual workplaces across Munster, we gather here to protest the slashing of our work hours, the outsourcing of our jobs, and the unwillingness of the HSE to fulfill our contracts. For the vulnerable, the loss of care hours could mean the difference between living at home and having to enter long-term care earlier than necessary. In a bid to justify a decrease in care hours, the timing of task draft document allocates 5 minutes to change a bed, 10 minutes for breakfast, and 15 minutes for a shower. Anyone who has been a carer knows this task timing borders on insanity. Home helps do not work with inanimate objects. We work with people who have unique requirements that are continuously changing and evolving. The timing of tasks eliminates any possibility of flexibility or adaptation to the ever-changing needs of our clients. We come here today to send a message to the government and the HSE to demonstrate our outrage at what is happening to the home health service. Home health and the vulnerable clients of the service stand in no man's land, calling on those in office to take responsibility and bring about change of the policies that are strangling the home health service and disenfranchising its clients. We call on Minister for Health James Riley and Minister of State for Older People Kathleen Lynch to implement that change for the greater good of Irish society. We want dignity and respect restored to the vulnerable clients of the service. We want to stop put to the cutting of our work hours and to the outsourcing of our home health services. understand what these cuts are doing to our clients and our service. Because I'm afraid to say right now, it's very clear they either do not understand or do not care. So let us hear and now speak loud and clear with one voice and say enough is enough.